Back live at Minot Field, getting ready for the top of the third. Dario Nunez, the shortstop, facing Greg Maddux, and he takes a strike.
Ed, Dario Nunez was the only Angel last night who played the whole game and did not get a hit.
My word.
And that's unbelievable.
I know. They had, what, 14, 15 hits. It's another strike, 0-2.
I don't know if this is a sign of anything at this point, but in the second inning, Maddux had 18 pitches and 11 of them were balls, while Martinez is right on the mark. 9 pitches, 7 of them strikes.
0-2 the count. Swung on, ground ball. Julius McDougal, the shortstop. And a little bit of a stretch for Darcy Walker, but he makes the play. 6-3 on the putout, 1 out. Brings up the second baseman, Pete Coachman, for the second time tonight, as Quad City now goes to the top of the order.
We'll take a look at that last play. Ground ball out to Julius McDougal. Smooth pickup. And the throw to Darcy Walker. As you can see, Darcy has to stretch just a bit. And out number 1.
Well, these guys make it look easy most of the time, don't they? 1 out. Top of the third. Outside.
That's probably because of a lot of practice.
Yeah. More than we ever get, huh?
As a matter of fact, game time is the enjoyable part of the season for the players. Most of them agree that the preparation for the game is the tough part. And you know what the toughest part of the season is, for at least for some of them? The bus trips.
Right. We hear a little bit about that later on in the game, too. Interesting comments. 2-0 the count. That's a strike, 2-1. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Quad City. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Peoria. We're in the top of the third at Minot Field in Peoria. Quad City Angels against the Peoria Chiefs. Quad City trying to sweep this short 2-game series at Minot. Fly ball center field. Going back on it is Don Richardson and makes the play. 2 out on the fly out to center, and third baseman Ken Grant comes to bat. Struck out against Maddux his last time up in the first inning.
Actually, it's almost like a 4-game series, 2 here at Minot and 2 at John O'Donnell Stadium the next 2 nights. The clubs, of course, are only about 100 miles apart.
Big game for both teams. Quad City can really build up some momentum with the win here tonight, and the Chiefs would like to push them back to 6.5 games back again, which is where Quad City was last night in the standings. Ball 1 to Grant.
To give you an idea of how good the Peoria Chiefs are compared to past years, last night they were 15 games over 500 before the game ended. And that's the best they've been since the 1950s, when they were back in the old, what was that, the 3I League?
The 3I League, yeah.
No, we're not that old. I read that someplace.
Oh, I was going to say, you were there, weren't you? 2-0 the count to Grant. Takes it high, ball 3. This is the second hitter that Maddux has gone to 3-0 on. The last one was Terry Jones. Got him. We worked him to 3-2 and then walked him. And he walks Ken Grant on 4 pitches.
Maddux appears to have some control problems here. He had 11 balls out of 18 pitches in the second inning, and now he's got some more problems with control.
Center fielder Doug Jennings due up. Last night in the game, Jennings was 2 for 5 with 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, a run scored, and he got a double his last time up. And that double for Jennings was his 9th of the year.
Jennings only a .207 batter on the season.
Runner at first, 2 out in the form of Ken Grant, the third baseman. Center fielder Doug Jennings looking in on Maddux. Just outside. That center field shot you just saw is due primarily to Mathis Kelly Construction Supply Company in Morton for helping us with the scissor lift trucks we're using. One over the tall wall at the 383 mark in straightaway center field, and another one right behind the press box here behind the plate. Some great shots from those cameras, and we thank...
Throw back to first. Not even close. Darcy Walker returns the ball to Greg Maddux.
We thank Mathis Kelly Construction Company out of Morton for their help.
That scissors is right behind that double tall wall that's green. Of course, it's in straightaway center field here, and we've dubbed that the
Green Monster. 6 straight pitches out of the strike zone for Greg Maddux. He walked Ken Grant with 2 out on 4 pitches, and it's 2-0 to Doug Jennings. He swings at one that may have been a ball, hard to tell. It's 2-1 as he fouled it against the screen. Another person we want to thank before we get too far along here. Some radio coverage for the Peoria Chiefs here locally. Jim Kelch on WTAZ radio in Morton. And he has done a yeoman's job, to say the least, in providing us with some of the information on both ball clubs. And they picked off Ken Grant at first base. Greg Maddux looked over there and threw over to Darcy Walker. Grant made the slide, but it looked like he was going in some loose dirt, and he ended up about a foot short of the bag, and they were able to pick him off.
Take a look at it again. Here's Maddux. Quick throw to first. Darcy Walker has the ball, and Grant doesn't have a chance of getting back in. You can see he sticks in the mud almost. Doesn't slide back in at all.
It won't necessarily make the highlight film or the videotapes for the clinics, will it? No runs, no hits, a man left after the walk, and after 2.5 innings of play at Minot Field, Quad City nothing and the Peoria Chiefs nothing.
That has to be right, Ed. We were checking with the official scorer. Brian House was not safe at first base on that wild pitch. For an unknown reason to me at this point in time, he was out at first base. The two runners did advance to second and third. Brian House was out at first, giving them the second out of the inning, and then Bruce Crabb grounded out for the third out of the inning. There were 5 batters in the inning, and 2 were left out.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, because first base was occupied. You can't run to first when first base is occupied. That's right.
That's right, regardless of whether it's a wild pitch or not.
We'll learn this game yet. There's a strike 0-2.
That's why we have this book here.
Is that it? Is that what you got?
We got lots of books. I haven't read them all yet.
So House was out for the second out of the inning on the strikeout, and was... So the Chiefs left 2 runners on base rather than the bases loaded in the bottom of the third. We're in the fourth now. Whoa, that's way over the head. 1-2. I knew I should have played Little League.
16-inch softball doesn't have that rule, so that's the only ball I can hold.
That's right, and you can't steal in slow pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Doug Jennings. That's high and tight, 2-2.
See, everybody learns as we go along in this process.
That's what this quality television is all about, right?
Hey, let me tell you about the Midwest League. Can I do that?
Why don't you?
All right. For those of you that don't know,
try and bail us out of this one.
is an A league. There are actually 5 levels underneath the majors. There's AAA, AA, Single A. There is Rookie League, and there's an Instructional League, which actually is real short spring session. And this is an A league, 3 divisions, Northern, Central, and Southern. Peoria and Quad Cities are in the Southern Division. You see time being called at home plate. Southern Division, Peoria and Quad Cities, Springfield and Burlington, and then the Central Division and the Northern Division have 4 teams likewise.
This is batter number 3 that Maddux has worked to 3-2. It's Doug Jennings, the center fielder, leading off the 4th for Quad City. Swung on and a base hit in the gap. Coming over to get it is the right fielder Rafael Palmeiro, and a good ranging play by him to hold Jennings' hit to a single in right field. That is hit number 2 for the Quad City Angels in this game tonight, and it brings up the right fielder Dante Bichette. Jennings was at bat when Ken Grant was picked off at first base to end the 3rd inning. And he leads off this one with a base hit, so it brings up Dante Bichette, the right fielder. Runner at first, nobody out. There's the ball.
Peoria Chiefs have the 2nd best record in the entire Midwest League, and the only team better than them?
The Appleton Foxes, affiliated with the White Sox. They're leading the Northern Division. In fact, what do we figure out? The Chiefs, if they were in the same division with Appleton, they'd be what, about 5 games out?
5 games out. 5 games out.
Swung on, and it's going to be foul ball right at the plate. Evens the count 1-1 against Dante Bichette, the right fielder. Flew out to left fielder Todd Smith to close out the 1st inning.
You saw Ed Paddock, the umpire on the bases, taking a look at the ball after it bounced off the plate on a foul ball.
It's a lot of responsibility out there for that guy, isn't it? It's about all 3 bases.
Covering 3 bases. He was talking about covering the bases. With only 1 umpire and 3 bases to cover, he said, you can't, you try to get into a position where you get a good view at every base that has a possible play at it, but you worry about the upcoming play.
Fakes or goes after the bunt and misses it.
So
it's 1-2.
If there's a potential double play, Ed, he says you get in a position where you can look both directions, but you concentrate on the play at second base first, then turn your energies towards first base. He says he's tired after a ball game.
I would imagine. Especially last night. He was working the plate.
He was working the fight, too.
He got writer's cramps changing his lineup card, along with everybody else up here. Line drive over Julius McDougall's head. That one's going to go to the wall. The runner at first, Doug Jennings, is coming to third. They're going to wave him across. Here comes the throw from McDougall toward the plate, and it's not going to be in time. It's way high. Villanueva makes a good save at it to keep Dante Bichette to a double. An RBI double for Dante Bichette, and the Quad City Angels have taken a 1-0 lead over the Chiefs here in the top half of the fourth inning.
We'll take a look at the replay here, Ed. Maddux throws it in, and into the gap, all the way to the wall, as Ed mentioned. And with the speed on the base path, there's no contest at home plate, as you see a high relay throw coming into Hector Villanueva. Leaps up and saves it.
That is the 19th double and the 54th RBI on the season for Dante Bichette. It brings up the designated hitter Tom Alfredson, who takes it low for a ball. 1-0 Quad City. 1-3-1 for the Angels, 0-2-0 for the Chiefs. We are in the top half of inning number 4 at Minnan Field in Peoria. Ground ball, base hit into left field. Todd Smith comes up with it, and Bill Latchman, the manager for the Angels, is going to hold up Bichette at third base as Todd Smith fumbled the ball. The throw toward Julius McDougall gets away from him, and Darcy Walker has to cover up and look out.
Todd Smith having problems. He missed the ball in left field, went back, retrieved it, threw it into Julius, threw it low into second base, and fortunately, no one was able to advance in either situation, so no errors charged on Todd Smith. Here's a look at the replay. We'll see the ball get away from Todd Smith in left field. Tom Alfredson slashes it past Julius McDougall, and there's the ball slipping past Todd Smith. Puts on the brakes, but no one was able to advance any further than they already had. Meanwhile, the players are on the corners for Quad Cities.
That's pitching coach Jim Wright, number 35 on the left, talking to the pitcher Greg Maddux. Number 25, of course, is Hector Villanueva with the gear on.
He's used to being on the mound, Ed. Pitches from there, catches, you know.
I wonder if Hector's saying, come on, Jim.
He was also very demonstrative in last night's fifth inning enterprise.
I think he wanted round 3 to go here for a while. Nobody warming up in the Chiefs bullpen yet.
Well, first blood tonight drawn by Quad Cities. Last night it was the Chiefs. In fact, this is the first time in 4 games that the Peoria Chiefs have not scored first. The last 4 games they've scored first, and now Quad Cities is on top early. 1-0, top of the 4th.
Terry Jones looks in. Outside for a ball. 3 up and 3 base hits, although Dante Bichette's rap, the second one of the inning, was a double. A base hit for Jennings, a double for Bichette to drive in Jennings, and then a base hit by Alfredson, putting Dante Bichette at third base. First and third, nobody out, and a ball 1 count to Terry Jones. Ground ball gets past the runner and past Darcy Walker. Another run will score. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and Quad City now leads 2-0, and that's the 5th hit of the game for Quad City.
And another RBI for Terry Jones, who is the leading batter average-wise for Quad Cities, and he pads his RBIs up to number 23.
So an RBI single for Terry Jones puts runners at first and second, and the left fielder Jeff Manto is up. Manto grounded to third baseman Bruce Crabb, a one-hopper back to Bruce Crabb in the second inning. And the Chiefs would like something like that here. It would give them a chance for a double play.
This is too much like the 8th inning of last night.
Yeah. First 5 players ended up on base. Swing and a miss.
For Quad Cities fans, that's good news, I suppose.
Right. Quad City in the first 5 batters to face the pitching of Peoria in the 8th inning last night. 3 doubles and 2 singles. That was in the 8th inning alone. 7 runs scored. All 7 Quad City runs scored in the 8th inning. Quad City won 7-3 last night. That one's inside. It's 1-1 to Jeff Manto. Well, they score them in bunches in this series, haven't they? Chiefs scored all 3 of their runs in 1 inning last night.
And the Quad City Angels scored all 7 of theirs in the 8th inning.
1-1 pitch, swung on, fly ball, deep in the left field. Going after it is Todd Smith. He won't get it. Nobody will. It's gone for a home run. Jeff Manto hits a home run for him. That is his 7th of the season. Brings in 3 runs, gives him 22 RBIs, and it's 5-0 Quad City, and they still don't have anybody out.